My name is Ann Morgan, and I want to welcome you. Thank you for being here tonight. We want to welcome our visitors and the nonprofit representatives that are here as well. Shout out to all the people that help make these events possible. Lots of volunteers. You saw lots of people at the registration desk. People work throughout the year to make this happen. So thank you to all of them. And if you ever are interested in helping, please let us know. We'd love to have you join us. We'd like to, Yenny, is Yenny here? Well, we want to give a shout out to Yenny Bexel of Spot, who has been with us from the very beginning as our sponsor. And because of her, we don't need to charge dues, and she covers all our administrative fees. So 100% of your donation go to the nonprofit. So that's awesome. And the Door County Community Foundation is amazing because they help facilitate our payment processing so people can make credit card payments. And it helps us a lot. It helps me a lot. I used to handle hundreds of checks, but now they help us process those, and it helps the nonprofits because the nonprofits receive one or two checks as opposed to having to process hundreds of checks and send out tax acknowledgement letters. So it administratively helps them as well. So thank you to the foundation. So tonight we're going to hear from the nonprofits that were selected last quarter. We'll do a vote, have a business update, and hear from our prior award recipient, Boys and Girls Club, and then we'll do the drawing for next quarter and announce awards. So our mission is to connect like-minded women to make a meaningful impact in our community. Our primary goal is to raise money for local nonprofits, and our mission is supported by our core values that can be remembered by community first. And we invite you to look at our website to learn more about those. So tonight we're going to hear from three nonprofit organizations, and three members are going to come up. They're very passionate about these organizations and we want to support them. So please give them your attention, listen well, and big rounds of applause. And so let's lift each other up tonight. So with that, I would like to announce Susie Cotter presenting Horseshoe Bay Farms.
Thank you, everybody. Horseshoe Bay Farms, celebrating history, sustaining community. Hi, I'm Susie Cotter, and I'm thrilled to present to you my nomination for tonight's award, Horseshoe Bay Farms. With me tonight is Scott Stern from Horseshoe Bay Farms, here to answer your questions. You'll recognize him. He's the only good-looking guy in the bunch. Horseshoe Bay Farms, in one form or another, has been a cornerstone of Door County and Egg Harbor since it was first created by Frank Murphy in 1917. It was run as a working farm by the Murphy Cowles families for generations, raising champion Holsteins and at one point, the largest employer with its orchards of apples, cherries, and plums. I didn't know about plums. I first became aware of the farm about 7 years ago while building our home nearby.
Excuse me 1 second, Susie. Can you pause for a minute? Something's got messed up here. I want to fix this.
Do I need to start over? Can I get 5 extra minutes? No. Okay. 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 So it was run as a working farm by the Murphy Cowell families for generations, raising champion Holsteins and at one point the largest employers with its orchards of apples, cherries, and I still didn't know about the plums. I first became aware of the farm about 7 years ago while building a home nearby. I had heard that it would be going up for sale by the private owner at that time, and I wondered what might happen to these historic buildings and the beautiful land that surrounded it. The following year, in 2018, Horseshoe Bay Farms was bought through generous donations by a group of Door County residents and went through a transformative journey to become a 501c. This would preserve the farm, all of its rich history, and with their community of employees and volunteers who are committed to the rehabilitation of the property, ensure that Horseshoe Bay Farms would be open to all near and far to explore the entirety of Horseshoe Bay Farms for years to come. They have worked really hard. I don't know if you've been there, but to grow and update the farm and the gardens to bring more guests to share in this educational joy through farm tours and other events. The first summer that they hosted guests, they had 400 visitors. By the year 2022, that number skyrocketed to over 4,000 visitors. I knew firsthand that their generosity and community was there by hosting and opening up their buildings, gardens, and their workers' homes to the Door County Medical Center House and Garden Walk in 2022. That very year, a Stickworks installation called Happy Go Lucky was created by the artist Patrick Doherty and with the help of 35 local volunteers. So I know there are some in the audience that got to work on that project, artists in their own right. People have come from all over the world to see this. They have hosted the Boys and Girls Club for multiple years so that these kids can come and learn firsthand about historic farming practices in the barns and agriculture through the vegetable and flower gardens, sparking lifelong appreciation for the history and farming in their young minds. I believe Horseshoe Bay Farms is the perfect steward for building community. They are dedicated to bringing back generations of residents to Door County to visit. In 2023, they hosted the first annual Cherry Camp and Farm Family Reunion to celebrate those closely tied to the farm's history. Did you know that Horseshoe Bay Farms now is the proud home of the Door County Bookmobile? After refurbishing one of the garage spaces, they now have a safe, dry space for our Door County Bookmobile in the winter and in between events. Horseshoe Bay Farm and all it gives back is just getting started. They have many ideas. They've done many things with local community. They just had a fun kids' day this past weekend. They're working with Plein Air again this year. And with its successes, they faced many challenges in continued maintenance and repairs needed to maintain these historic buildings that are over 100 years old and the property, so they can continue to reach out to more school and community groups, ensuring that the farm remains a vital resource for years to come. With our generous donation today, we can help Horseshoe Bay Farms continue to build a positive learning experience and community for our communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Susie. She told me her presentation was only 4 minutes, but then she talked really slow. So thank you, Susie. And so here to represent Horseshoe Bay Farms, and he's been a super good sport of being in this whole group of women, is Scott Stern. So please welcome Scott. So we have now it's Q&A, and just a reminder, this is the time to ask questions, and please try to make sure that it's not testimonials. Paula's there with the mic, and she's happy to go where she needs to, as well as Natalie's monitoring the online chats.
So if you were to receive the reward, what would you use it for?
One of the things that we want to do currently is we have the farm scale, which is original from 1917, which needs refurbishment. So that would be one of our goals.
Can you describe your other revenue sources?
Our revenue sources come from a variety of different avenues, mostly private, but we are able to use that money for events so people don't have to put out of their pocket. As this Sunday, we had over 120 families come and they didn't have to pay anything and just enjoy the day.
Don't be bashful. Lots of time for questions.
Can I ask? Can I ask? Can you tell us how many employees and how many volunteers you have?
We are predominantly volunteers. We were very fortunate this year to have 4 interns that we do pay that do research for us and help out on the farm, but we're predominantly volunteer driven.
Do you work with local school groups?
We do the Boys and Girls Clubs of America each year in the summertime. We also work with a group of challenged youths that come out to the farm as well.
What's your annual budget?
I'm honestly not 100% sure what our annual budget is because I am a volunteer, not just a volunteer, but I am a volunteer, and some things I am not privy to. I apologize for not having that answer.
It was $80,000, right, Lynn? Yeah. She read it.
What programming would you like to see be developed, or what programming would you like to see if you were to win this award?
Our goal is threefold. We are about education, activation, and preservation. So it would be used education-wise to further with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, as well as getting other groups in the local community to the farm, as well as we would use it for maintenance on the farm because the buildings are 107 years old. They do need constant maintenance. To follow up on your question, this year we had to re-electrify 2 of our barns, and you cannot go overhead anymore with the wiring, so we had to dig down. And Door County soil is very unforgiving.
Anything else for Horseshoe Bay Farms? All right, well, they went over slightly, so we'll call it with that. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Can everyone hear okay, or do we need to turn the volume up? In the back, are you okay? All right, Casey gave it a thumbs up. Okay, so next up, thank you to Brenda Lang for nominating and presenting on behalf of the Salvation Army, the Door County Extension. Welcome, Brenda.
Gonna work for me. I'm vertically challenged. Good evening. My name is Brenda Lang and Cindy Block is my co-nominator. I'm sorry about my voice, but too much Beatles music last night across the street. We're here this evening to ask for your vote in supporting the Salvation Army in Door County. For more than 20 years, our Salvation Army Extension Unit has worked to meet basic human needs in our community without discrimination. The unit is made up of all volunteers, about 100 bell ringers, 6 support people, 3 to process inquiries, and 7 board members. There is no office, no salaries or rent to pay. The source of funding for our unit is monetary donations directed to the Door County Salvation Army and the ever-popular holiday bell ringing campaign. Cindy and I and our husbands have done it. It's a blast, and it is so important as we have found that without a bell ringer, almost no money is collected. I guess in this case, your presence really is the present. Over the years, the results of our annual fundraising have grown from about $24,000 to $80,000, in part due to publicity and the increasing visibility of need. This year, our budget is $80,400. 86% of all funds received stay in Door County. Our Extension Services group provides urgent services for Door County only. The remaining 14% is moved to support the relief efforts and programs related to disaster and emergency food and shelter in our division and beyond. Naturally, if there were to be a disaster here in Door County, we would be eligible for some of those funds to be directed back to us. The short-term assistance provided to disadvantaged Door County residents includes rent, mortgage payments, utilities, food, gas, health care, transportation, and emergency lodging. Once in contact with the local Salvation Army representative, the client is vetted and an application form is completed. The client could be provided with vouchers or direct payments to where the funds are needed, not checks or cash. This could include referrals to St. Vincent de Paul, Dortran, Wisconsin Home Energy Assistance, Food Share, etc. If there is a need for something the Salvation Army cannot help with, assistance may be provided for rent or utilities to help free up money for that expense. The focus is on collaboration with other support agencies without duplication. In the short term, vouchers or checks are written directly to the vendors to keep life moving forward, utilities, landlords, etc. Attention is paid to connections with assistance organizations helping the client to become more independent in the future. A service that most people may not be aware of is assistance for people stranded in our community. When encountering an appropriate situation, our law enforcement personnel are authorized to provide vouchers for lodging and cards for food and gas. The vouchers are to be used for assistance purposes only and are paid directly to the provider. For example, the voucher may be for 2 nights only at a local motel, once per calendar year. Neither Cindy nor I were aware of this aspect of the Salvation Army, but can easily see its value in emergency situations. Just one more thing that makes Door County such a wonderful, welcoming community. In addition, as funds permit, there may be special projects which include providing winter outerwear, including snow pants, hats, and mittens to disadvantaged children, new gym shoes for needy children returning to school in the fall, and a Christmas program for low-income seniors over 65. And so Cindy and I are offering you the opportunity to answer the call to action and support this worthy organization by voting for the Salvation Army. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brenda. And so here to field questions on behalf of the Salvation Army is Nancy Kexel Calabresa. Thank you so much for joining us. Who's
I'm
got a
vertically
question for
challenged.
Nancy?
I do. Nancy, can you tell us approximately how many people you serve a year?
Yes, I can. I just got those numbers this morning. And thank you. In the last calendar year, it was 932. The prior year was 839, and the prior year to that was 865.
Most people have heard about the bell ringing and know that, but are there other ways that people can contribute or help the Salvation Army?
The bell ringing campaign is the major fundraiser, and other people that maybe can't ring a bell or would like to contribute can write checks. So it's pretty simple, bell ringing or check writing. Yeah.
Yeah. So how are the services provided? Not through volunteers then, but through other means?
The services are provided through volunteers. And if people are in critical need and they call the hotline, there's a Salvation Army hotline up here. They are properly vetted and they will receive some sort of assistance, like rent might be paid or utilities might be paid, because the objective is to keep these people in their homes, not to have eviction. The other volunteers, we have a volunteer that does the taking of the phone calls, and I do the bell ringing. I organize bell ringers in Door County at 5 locations, and I would be very happy if you would like to ring the bell this year. And there are some others that organize bell ringers for the northern door. But we're all pretty much volunteers, and the thing that Brenda mentioned is that the law enforcement is authorized to provide emergency services if they find someone stranded on the road. But we all pretty much volunteer. We do have there's one paid person that works for the Salvation Army who has 11 counties.
So we have another question back
Yes.
here. So if you're saying that a lot of the money comes with bell ringers, how does one sign up to be a bell ringer?
You see me, you email me or call me.
But
and,
how does that information get out? I haven't seen it listed someplace. How do we know where to sign up?
You pretty much have to contact me.
Do you have a website? Do you have?
No, I don't have a website, but I have an email address and a telephone number.
Is it on the Salvation Army website?
No.
Oh, okay.
There is a Salvation Army website, and they have something called Register to Ring in other communities. And I have tried it a few years ago, and I like the personal relationship better.
Yeah,
we
you
have time for
probably
one
need
more-
to tell people what you want them to know. Phone number or an email or.
Okay. I know you don't, I have a number of these sheets. They're tear-offs. And if you'd like to ring the bell or find out more information about the Salvation Army, you can contact me from these.
We have time for one more question.
If you were to receive the award, how much of that award would be used locally, and would a percentage of it have to go to the other fund? Or can that all be used 100% here in Door County?
The grants are not part of the bell ringing campaign. And if we were to receive a grant, it would stay in Door County. There isn't anything that is taken off of that. It's only the funds we raise through the bell ringing campaign that 84% stays in Door County, and the other 86%, and the other 14% goes to the disaster relief fund.
30 seconds.
So is the hotline, calling the hotline, is that the main way of accessing assistance if someone is interested, or are there other ways?
Yes, exactly. The hotline is 920-885-1260, and there's a volunteer that mans that hotline once a week and processes the inquiries coming in during the rest of the week.
All right. And with that, it's our 5 minutes. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Nancy.
Thank you.
Okay. And last but not least is the Door County Food Coalition, Food Pantry Coalition, rather. And to present on their behalf is Kathy Edmondson. Welcome, Kathy.
Hello, fellow Door County 100+ women. Thank you for the opportunity to present the value of Door County Food Pantry Coalition this evening. It is an honor to share our story in the company, thank you, of representatives from Horseshoe Bay Farms and Salvation Army County Extension. The food pantries of Door County, working in partnership with United Way and Community Foundation, established the Door County Food Pantry Coalition in 2020 to provide food and other supplies to people in need. There are currently 9 food pantries throughout the county, sprinkled from Maplewood to Washington Island. Each of these food pantries operates differently. Some are only able to provide non-perishable items, while others can offer refrigerated and frozen foods. A few pantries also make toiletries and other household supplies available. In some cases, the pantries allow people to come into their facility to pick out what they need. Others take orders, then package food for pickup. Some have limited hours and limited days of the week. Some are self-service and on the honor system. Details about the location from each food pantry and the offerings can be found on their website, feeddoorcounty.org. Many people across the nation are still struggling to recover from the financial setbacks due to the recent pandemic and its economic recession. Continued inflation and skyrocketing costs of basic needs such as groceries hit low-earning families the hardest. The high cost of housing in Door County contributes to its severe housing problems for more than 11% of our families. Nearly 9% of our families are considered poor. 12% of Door County children currently live in poverty. Additionally, 21% of Door County households are living paycheck to paycheck and don't qualify for food share. They make too much money. Pantries and essentials for many of them have nutritious food. According to United Way, a family with 2 adults and 2 school-aged children now needs to budget $2,500 per month for healthy food. Many Door County families are finding it more and more difficult to stretch their budget in their everyday battle with grocery price inflation. The Food Pantry Coalition spends approximately $75,000 per year stocking these 9 pantries and providing food-only gift cards to families in needs. A food-only gift card is typically recipients are typically identified by child care centers and schools, helping those unable to rely on schools for food, such as during holiday breaks. Local schools have also been provided vouchers for nutritious snacks for some students who get extra hungry during the day. Door County United Way dedicates approximately 10 hours or 25% of one person per week or one for the Food Pantry Coalition. 16, that's 1/6 of United Way's 175 volunteers are specific to the Door County Food Pantry Coalition. The coalition is not supported by the government. Food pantries are able to help those in need solely based on generous donations from our friends and neighbors. Our Door County food pantries often find their shelves depleted of desperately needed supplies. I just heard today about a concern that they've got in Sister Bay with one of their food pantries, the shelves being completely empty when the volunteer went there. Food pantry volunteers regularly reach out to their various friends and networks. And Brenda, I know you're one of those, requesting replenishments of specific food items to fulfill these needs. Your donation to Door County Food Pantry Coalition will be used to purchase food for the pantries and to purchase food-only gift cards for families in needs. The need for this service is real. I humbly request the honor of your vote this evening in support of Door County Food Pantry Coalition.
Thank you very much, Kathy. And here to field questions on behalf of the Food Pantry Coalition is the United Way's Executive Director, Amy Conley. Welcome, Amy. Oh, we've got an online question to kick off.
All right. Diane asked, sounds like recipients need internet access and knowledge of the source to find locations of food. If so, is there a way to maybe improve that access for people?
Sure. So feeddoorcounty.org is one of the ways that people can find out about it. Most of our helping agencies know the location and times of our food pantries. Also 211, which is information and referral for folks. So if they have a phone, they can call or text 211 to get that information. A lot of people also stop in our office or any one of the other helping agencies to get that information.
Hi. One thing I learned last year, and I wondered if you have statistics to back this up, is that in the summer, donations tend to drop off, but the need rises. Is that what you're seeing?
That's what we typically see. I think people think because in the summer, Door County people are probably making more money, right? We think this is the time of year everybody's waitressing or working at a second job, and maybe that need isn't as great. One of our pantries emailed me yesterday saying she's starting to see some J1 workers as well utilizing her pantry. So even though they're here and they're probably working 12 hours, 6 days a week at their J1 jobs here, it may still not be enough to help with some of those basics.
Do the pantries accept fresh garden produce?
Yes, they do. We have a few who do not because they don't have refrigeration capabilities, but right now we're working with one farm who's donating fresh lettuce every week as well. So we'll be picking up lettuce tomorrow morning with our volunteers and transporting that to some of our pantries tomorrow.
More questions? Did they answer everything? Making me work.
Amy, what pantries do accept fresh produce?
Okay, now
I mean, or maybe closest to Sturgeon
yeah,
Bay.
I was gonna say, so Maplewood does, they have a pantry the first and third Saturday of each month, so that corresponding Friday would be when to drop that off. Lakeshore Cap Food Pantry, Feed and Clothe My People does, Community Church, those are all three in Sturgeon Bay. Fish Creek has a refrigerator at Stella Maris. Claude's Kitchen in Ellison Bay has a refrigerator. Mm-hmm. Shepherd of the Bay does too. Thank you.
More questions?
Paula, Orlean.
Oh. Do some of you, the post office does a drive a couple of times a year. Do you get some of that food? And I know I've seen in the last year less people participating in it.
Yep, so the Boy Scout food drive and the letter carriers food drive, that food all gets distributed among those pantries. Midsummer's Music also does a music for food program 2-3 times a year. That food we distribute among those local pantries as well.
If you receive the award, how does the money go to the coalition itself and then it gets distributed? Or
Yep, so it goes to the coalition. The fund is at the Door County Community Foundation. The pantry representatives meet every other Monday, and any needs that they have, the group has to agree upon those funds being dispersed, and then those expenses can happen.
Anybody else?
We have time for one more question. Paula, to your left.
Hi, I've in the past contributed not only food, but sometimes financial support to specific pantries. Is it better for them now with the coalition for people to make financial donations to the coalition or to individual pantries?
I think it's really up to each one of you as citizens in our community. If you have a favorite pantry or the pantry belongs or is in the church you belong to, that's, you know, an easy way to give. But when we talk about buying vouchers for like our school kids, that's where making that donation to the coalition, that then meets the greatest need either in the pantry or the greatest need for our school children. Mhm.
Okay. Thank you very much, Amy. Okay, so now we're to the time to vote. So just a couple reminders. For those who are watching live stream, please vote online now. And everyone remembers, but one vote per team. That's interesting. Okay, I guess our voting is all in, so we'll get started on the business update. I know. Oh, it's not done. It's not done. But that got everybody's attention. Yes, hello. Is everybody's vote in? Okay, I think it is. Excellent, thank you. Okay, on to our business update. Normally this would work, but nothing's happening. Hang on. Okay, here we go. So after tonight's meeting, this is from July of 2018 when we started, we'll have raised over $601,000 for 60 local nonprofit organizations.
And this was all because of you having the vision to see what would happen if we all come together and join forces to do something really great for our community. So what this means is you are awesome. So thank you. Good job. Part of that number includes a Richard M. Scholl's Family Foundation matching grant, and that's up to 45,000 since we've been in it. So that's awesome too. Most recently, Help of Door County received their a match of $5,000. And they received their check in June. So that is excellent. Here's a slide of new members since our last giving circle. So, hey, is there anybody, can you stand up? Anybody that's new? All right, thank you. Anybody else here that's new? All right, welcome, welcome. And also there are some people that have been members, but this is their first live meeting. Could you stand up for a minute so we could welcome you for the first time? All right, excellent, thank you. And I looked at our metrics and just to see like what our membership, what's been happening. And over the last couple of years, it's like an average of 3 to 4% it goes up. So we just kind of keep gradually going up. And this morning we're at 400 members. So with that, I'm going to introduce Susie and Faye to talk about social. You can just hit this button here to go down.
Hi, everybody. I'm here wearing a different hat. I'm Susie Cotter, and I am the co-chair for our social committee. That's a good part of our team. We're missing Rebecca up there, Kavanaugh. That was last year. So we've had a social team since the beginning, so for 6 years. And Faye and I have been the co-chairs for that team. For the new members, we'd like to welcome you and say that if you want to join our social team, we'd be happy to have you or anyone that likes to come up with great ideas to have gatherings and parties and likes to be a worker bee doing that. So we've done many different things throughout the years. And we do a couple of annual things. So I was hoping that, I'm not sure where Faye is. She is the co-chair and I'm not sure what happened to her. But anyhow, she was supposed to be here tonight, so I don't know what she's up to, but Faye. Oh, Faye, where are you, where were you, in Greece or what?
I'm back from Greece, but once you told me that we do have a date for a sunset cruise,
That's right.
I'm a planner, I'm a doer. I got my stuff together. I have a hat, a sweater in case when the sun goes down, it gets a little cooler. Our date is the Tuesday after Labor Day, so it's September 3rd, 5:30. We're going to set sail out of Sister Bay again. But what's new this year, we're on the same boat, but they took away the bar. So you can bring your own and snacks and you can bring your own, anything you're looking for. So we will meet at 5:15, but also it's exciting this year for us, like we were talking about using the foundation to collect money, is the boat company will be collecting our money and not Susie and myself. And that does save a whole lot. So there'll be an email going out in the next couple of days, and that's going to give you the link. And I think you have an opportunity there to say that you're with 100 Women Who Care.
That's
so
right.
what do you think? Who's in?
You girls, this is our 3rd annual boat ride. So we've had a lot of fun and we were on this boat before. So please, please, please look for that email that will come out tomorrow or the next day from us. And there will be a link and there will be a code for you to sign up and to pay directly with the boat company. They've given us a great deal. It comes out to like $24.91 a ticket, which is normally $42. So, and
make
bring
sure
your
you
own
use the
wine and beer and food, and there'll be entertainment, and then Faye and I will be there, so.
There's always that.
There's that. Thank you, Faye. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Susie and Faye. Okay, we're going to go on to the next slide. But before we do this, we want to take a minute to recognize a couple of people who work behind the scenes all year round. They don't get a lot of attention or recognition. So we have Beth Bauer, our membership coordinator, and Barb Risto. Hey, Beth, we all see you back there. But anyway, so 400 members. So there's a spreadsheet that Beth maintains, all the activity, all the changes, anything that goes on. She makes our name tags. She does a registration sheet. So thank you so much, Beth. Come here. And Barb Risto, I don't know if she's here tonight. Barb, are you here? Did I miss you? Okay, so Barb Risto is a donations coordinator, and she's done an incredible job reconciling our donations and created the spreadsheet. It's amazing and so appreciative of all of her efforts. So thank you to, Barb Risto. So thank you, Barb. Yes, this is my favorite button slide. Everything you need to know right on our homepage. So you can join us, nominate a nonprofit, which is very easy, donate. And if you're interested in some 100+ apparel, we have Bonnie Spielman from Hat Head has created an online store for us. So please check that out. And with that, we're going to hear about Boys and Girls Club of Door County. Chelsea Adams and Joanna Wicklund are going to present. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I am Johanna Wicklund. I am the CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Bay and Lakes region. And I'm joined by Chelsea Adams, who is our Director of Clubhouse Operations here in Door County. So I mentioned the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Bay and Lakes region, which includes Door County, but also serves youth in Green Bay and the Shawano area. But for the purpose of this impact grant, the gift from 100+ Women Who Care stayed right here in Door County and impacted kids right here in our Door County community. At the Boys and Girls Club, across all of our sites, our core strengths are we are safe spaces, we are caring mentors, and we're high quality programs. And the way that 100+ Women Who Cares support impacted kids here in Door County was to expand our Camp Lavoie summer enrichment program. Specifically, Camp Lavoie provides a full day, hands-on summer enrichment experience, 10 hours a day, 5 days per week, all summer long. It's a lot, and Chelsea has so much to do with the logistics and planning and coordination to make that all possible. Your support allowed us to increase our camp enrollment by 20% last year. A total of 168 youth ages 7 to 14 participated in Camp Lavoie last summer. That's over 100 kids per day that attended camp with us on average. Camp includes access to hands-on learning. We disguise learning as fun. So kids really, you might hear about summer slide and summer learning loss. At camp, kids are learning. They're using their brains, they're thinking, they're developing critical processing skills, and they don't even realize it. They just think they're having fun. Along with increasing the access to Camp Lavoie, your support also supported literacy programming, the arts, outdoor exploration, leadership, field trips, and deep, deep community partnerships. Speaking of community partnerships, we partnered with 16 different community partners in Camp Lavoie last summer, including Crossroads, which was really a camp within the camp. We partnered with Horseshoe Bay Farms, you heard about already, and kids just love that. That's one of the highlights of Camp Lavoie. We partnered with the library. with the YMCA to provide access to healthy foods all day at camp, with the Maritime Museum, Door County Historical Society. I could keep going. One thing that makes Camp Lavoie so incredibly unique is that number of collaborations and how much the community is part of the club experience. We bring community partners into the club, but what I love especially about Camp Lavoie is we bring kids into the community so they get to experience opportunities right in their backyard, right in Door County. For example, we took kids on trips to 10 different parks in Door County, and a lot of kids might not have ever known those were resources that are right here in their community. A couple of highlights also include we worked with a naturalist who took kids on guided hikes in some of our park outings. We also expanded our emotional wellness and mental health supports last summer by embedding a youth mental health counselor on site at club. So we were able to provide access to therapeutic counseling for kids for the first time on site at club last summer. Chelsea, am I missing anything? Was there anything that that we should add?
Thank you. I think you got it.
Yeah, we just want to say thank you. The impact was incredible, and you helped us really increase access and serve even more kids than ever. So thank you so much for your support.
Thank you so much. We always love when nonprofits come back and tell us how the funds were used. It's our favorite part, at least for me. Okay, so just a couple slides on the status of nonprofits. So we've got this quarter 23 nonprofits in the hat. So we had one new one be nominated, and of course 3 were pulled for since last quarter. The average age, we take a look at this, it's down just a little bit, 488. So about a year and a half on average, the nonprofits are waiting in the hat before they're pulled. Okay, so here's the list of nonprofits that are in the hat. You can see the one new one that was added this quarter, which was Northern Door Pride. Two things. One, you saw my email, some of you hopefully saw, for someone to be a backup for me when I can't be at the online or the in-person meetings. So thankfully, Tammy Grossman is going to do that. Yay, Tammy. I asked her during voting if she had quit yet, and she said no. So I was feeling good. But the other opening we have is we have an opening on the vetting committee. And I mentioned it at this slide because what we do is I prepare most of the work, so you don't have to do too much. But then the vetting committee looks at the applications and makes a recommendation for the board. So it doesn't take a lot of time, and it's just done quarterly. But we do have an open slot, so shoot me an email if you would be interested in doing that. So tonight we had Jody Waite validate the names in the hat. So thank you for that. So she made sure that all the slips match what we have up on top. And tonight's award, the main award is going to be approximately $15,500 and the 2 runners up $7,750. And this is the plug to remind everyone that the nonprofits don't get our money until all of you have paid. And so Anne was mentioning earlier the big job that Barb Ristow does in terms of doing all that reconciliation. Please help us out, get your checks in. And if you can set it up on a recurring payment or on a credit card, it makes it a million times easier for us and for you. So that's the plug for the membership and donation collecting team. So with that being said, it's time to pull from the hat. I asked Lisa if she would do that for us. So Lisa, come on up. Oh. Okay. 1. And then I have to read it in front of the mic. Literacy Door County. Oh, Lisa, come. Oh, sorry, all 3. Sorry, yeah. I did say 1. Number 2. Number 2 is Northern Door Children's Center. And number 3 is the Peninsula School of Art. Thank you, Lisa. Next up, I'm like, wait, I don't have those notes. Next up, I get the fun job of announcing the main award recipient, which is congratulations to the Door County Food Pantry Coalition.
Thank you, Anne. Okay, our next meeting is October 28th. It's going to be here. We have a couple more slides, but before we get to those, to finish things off, in July, we always like to get a group picture. And so in the past, we did it in front of the pavilion when we were at Peg Egan, but today we're going to do it in front of that banner right there. Y'all see that? So this is going to be organized chaos. What we need is everybody kind of to help push chairs away and line up along the window so we can get our group shot. So whatever you can do to help me make that happen, that would be awesome. And then after that, well, not yet. Wait, 1 second, 1 second. We're not quite there. We're almost there. And then the nonprofits and the presented today, we have to do the pictures after that with a presentation check. And please turn in your name tags and your checks. And then we have a quote. The best way to lift oneself up is to help someone else by Booker T. Washington. Thank you, Paula, for that quote. And here's our elevator pitch: do good, feel good, gather, have fun with 100+ WWC. Okay, thank you, everyone. Let's get to work. Thank you.